It is so pretty out here, and I decided to come out and just like read while the sun is setting. I've been trying to get outside every single day, but it is so hard to do. Like, and I think it's just because the sun sets so early, so I had to race to get out here. And honestly, I was supposed to go to Pilates tonight, but I decided just to skip Pilates and enjoy the sun because the next few days we actually don't have sun. It's supposed to be really gloomy. So we're gonna read outside, but I ended up bringing Snowed In by Catherine Walsh, which is actually funny that I'm starting this book today because this book is obviously a Christmas read and it is not giving Christmas today. I will say that the weather is perfect. It's not cold at all, but this week we're going to be reading Christmas reads and I'm really excited because Christmas reads always put me in the best mood. So let's go set up our little reading area. I'm sitting here like seconds into my book, like I haven't even like really gotten past like the first 2 pages, but while I've been sitting here I was just thinking about how much I enjoy being outside and how my mood completely shifts when I'm outside. And I don't know, I'm just gonna miss these sunsets, but I feel like if I get outside even when it's cold, I'm just gonna feel a lot better. It's been kind of gloomy the last few days and I feel like my mood a lot of the time mimics the weather. And days like today where like I don't need a coat or anything, I'm in heaven, like literally in heaven. Now, will we have a lot of like end of the year months like this or like weeks like this? I don't know. I honestly feel like we probably won't. But I definitely want to soak it up while I can and while it's here. Just because like you never know if this is going to be like your last sunset outside or like your last time actually being comfortable without a coat, and we can easily take it for granted for sure. I will say we're going out of the country really soon to somewhere warm and I cannot wait. I'm just such a warm weather girl. Like, I don't know if anyone else is like that. Like, I do love fall, but in the Midwest, like we don't really get a true fall. We get like, I don't know, it's like a fake fall. Like it will be very, very like perfect weather, and then the week after that it'll be like freezing cold, and it just shifts so fast. So I'm really soaking this in. I think that reading Christmas books this week is definitely going to get me in the mood to buy Christmas gifts. I have not bought any Christmas gifts this year. Comment below if you guys have. I haven't yet, but I just love like shopping and wrapping gifts and things like that. And I feel like a lot of people get like stressed. They're like, oh my gosh, I have like so much to do. But it's like, that's the joy of the holiday, you know? And could it be stressful? For sure. Like we definitely like can overthink things and like stress ourselves out, but it's like, it's gifts. Like people are going to enjoy what we give them regardless of what we give them. So I try to remind myself of that, because like whatever people give me, I'm always like grateful for it. I'm never like, oh, I wish they got this for me instead, you know? So I've been trying to remember that and just like take in the joy of the season. And as it gets closer to Christmas, instead of like stressing, just like soak in the traditions and soak in the nostalgia and the memories and wrap presents with joy and stuff like that. So that's been like my perspective more than anything. I've read one book by this author and it was cute, so I definitely wanted to do it again. I read it last year and it like literally made me laugh out loud. I feel like her books are just like that. And those are the types of books that I want to read in this season, or like as it gets closer to Christmas. I have some other books on my TBR for Christmas books, but I don't know if I'm going to spend this entire week reading Christmas books, because I could easily get kind of bored. Like, Christmas books are sometimes a little repetitive, but I'm hoping that this will just be like a good read that gets me excited about reading Christmas books versus making me like not want to read them anymore. Also, I cannot tell you guys how many people have driven past this area like super slow. Like, do you see how slow that car was going? Super slow. But I have had some people who've like driven past and they just kind of like look and they're like, what's going on? But there was one lady who was like super nice, and she was like, hey, I just want to make sure you're okay. Like, are you doing all right? And she was like this like older black woman. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, the sunset's really pretty, so I just like wanted to sit here and read my book. She's like, okay, well, you be safe. She's like, you be careful and get home, all right? And like, things like that make me appreciate living in a town like this. Like, I know it's easy to look at everyone else who lives all over the world and doing like all these cool things, and then when I see a sunset like this and I have my car parked, I'm just literally like parked in the most random spot. I'm going to show you guys in a second. And people see my car and they drive past and they're like, is she okay? Like, is there a tire pop? Like, so many people have like driven by like slowly, and I think some people are just like nosy, because it's like, that's like small town vibes, you know? But I think a lot of people genuinely care, and I think seeing me on this blanket probably helps them be like, oh, she's like fine. But like, I was standing like setting up my blanket a little bit earlier, and more people were like, are you okay? Like, do you need like a ride? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just like enjoying outside. I do think part of it is like, as it gets colder, people are like, why is someone outside right now? But it makes me happy, like just being outside in general. And I'm gonna miss these sunsets so much. Like, and the thing is like, I can get a sunset out of the country in Mexico, Bali, like wherever, but there's nothing like a Midwest sunset over the cornfields. Like, I will literally fight someone on that. Like, there's nothing like it. It is the most peaceful, serene, like when you see deer just like walking. I actually made this like little video on my Instagram stories, and it had like deer, and someone was like, you know, you're in the Midwest, so you just have deer just like randomly walking right in front of you. I'm like, no, literally, like they're everywhere, because it's so peaceful and like relaxing and serene. So anyway, I'm going to read more of this. Hopefully this will get me in the Christmassy mood, and hopefully it doesn't get too much colder so I can enjoy the Christmassy, happy, joyful vibes, but not be like freezing cold. And we'll see how many Christmas books I read this week. I'm not really sure how many I'm going to get into. I don't know if you guys can see that. I was literally just talking about deer, and there are 3 deer over here. Let's see if I can get over there so you can see. Oh, there they go. I don't know if you guys can see them running. They're just bopping around back there. They're like right back there. I don't know if you can see. They're just hopping around, having the best time. I just love living out with views, or in a place with views like this. It's so pretty. Literally unreal. There are so many books I'm excited to get, and this package is like literally making me think of that. I picked this up from Call and Response Books. It's a Black-owned bookstore in Chicago, and I feel like whenever I am shopping online in a Black-owned bookstore, I just find a lot of books that I don't normally see other places. So I wanted to buy one of their books, but it's literally making me think of how there are so many new releases coming out in 2025. Like, I feel like we're all just gonna be blown away by all the books coming out. And I actually made like a little video on TikTok. I think it like went up on Instagram too, but sharing like all the new releases that I know of, like in the romance genre, and the top 5s for me, because there's a lot coming out next year. The top 5s for me would probably be Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan, which that one is about Hendrix, it's in the Skyland series. Her other 2 books were both 5-star reads for me. And Hendrix's story is unique because she is child-free by choice, and I'm pretty sure, like at least from what Candy Ryan kind of alluded to when we had our little chat, if you guys missed that video, I'll link it below, the guy's gonna be a billionaire, and I'm here for that. And it'll be like really cool to see her story, but I feel like it's going to be very much focused on like self-love and like getting what you deserve and like working hard for it and like that kind of thing. Because Hendrix is a character, I don't know, at least that it feels like to me, she's a character that always is giving to people, and I didn't feel like her friends were giving as much back to her, so I feel like we're kind of going to see that a little bit too. Like she was always there for her friends, but like, you know, she was there for like their kids stuff, or she was there just like for them in general, like emotionally in their relationships, but like you don't see her relationship with like anyone. So it'll be interesting to see her story. I also cannot wait to read No Ordinary Love by Maya Ariel. I read her newest book this year. She's like a debut author. Loved it. 4.5 out of 5 stars for me. It definitely gave 90s vibes, like, you know, crying in the rain, like, please don't go. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it literally gave that to me, and I need more of that in my life. This book is about a girl who's like a pop star, and I think her husband cheats on her, so she decides that she wants a divorce. Again, it's all in the back. I've never read the book. She decides that she wants to leave him and get a divorce, and I think to get like what she's like owed or due like in the prenup or something, she can't have like a scandal, or she can't like say anything bad about him, so she has to kind of like keep it all together. But I think she starts to have feelings for a guy, which kind of like messes up the plans, because obviously she's like, you know, still married at this point. So I think that that would cause like a scandal. And then Etta Easton's book, The Love Simulation, looks so good. It's about a science teacher and I'm trying to open this up. They really tape this in here tight. It's about a science teacher and a, what's the other person's career? A science teacher and a principal. And the principal is like vying for some type of like prize. I don't know what the prize is, but like they're both vying for the same prize, so it's kind of like a rivals thing. And I love a rivals to lover story. It always just gets me really excited for the love, like whenever it comes through, because obviously they're like, you know, there's a lot of tension. And then another book that I'm really excited about is Brittany Cherry's book, If You Stayed. That book looks like it's so good. It's about this girl who like had feelings for this guy. And you guys know I've read 7 books by Brittany Cherry. So like her books are incredible to me, but it's about this girl who meets this guy. I think they have like this really deep connection. And after having this deep connection for like however long, something pulls them apart. Like I don't know what it is, but something pulls them apart. And finally, oh my gosh, this tape was in here so tight. Something pulls them apart, and so they're like disconnected for years. And then years later, she's like married, has kids, like all the things. He, I think, comes over to like work on her house or something. Like I think she doesn't call him, she like calls the business or the company, and she's like, oh, it's like you. And I think she realizes she still has feelings for him. I'll be interested to see that, because I'm not a huge fan of like someone who's like married, like having feelings for someone else if they're still in that relationship. And I don't know if she like is a widow or something, like I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see that. But I feel like Brittany Cherry does like the childhood friends to lovers really, really well. And then the Players Club, I think that's what it's called, or Play Plus Size Club. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it on the screen or something, but it's by Daniel Allen. That book looks incredible. It's about a girl who is going on a bunch of dates, which kind of reminds me of her newest book that I read, which again I loved. And it looks like it's going to be a super funny one. She goes on a bunch of dates, but I think she doesn't want to like choose just one guy. She like wants to have her cake and eat it too. But then she starts having feelings for this guy, and it's like, oh, do I have to like give up all the rest of them? And like, so I think it's one of those things where she like maybe has trust issues and doesn't want to like let go of the other people. Let me know your like anticipated releases for 2025. Those are by Black authors specifically, but of course I cannot wait to read Abby Jimenez's book that's coming out. I can't wait to read Emily Henry's book that's coming out. Those are like auto by authors for me. But those books by those authors that I share, they also are ones that are like top of my list. I cannot wait to read them. So now that I've finally gotten this open, I can show you guys the books that I got. I got 2 books. Let's go with this one on top first. So this one I got, it's called Frequent Flyers. I'm gonna get a little bit closer because one of you guys actually asked if I could like show you guys the covers a little bit better, and I think that this is like an easier way to do it because you guys asked if I could sit down while I like open these boxes, but the area that I usually sit in the living room gets really dark on gloomy days, and like most of the Midwest is gloomy and dark for a lot of like the colder months. So the kitchen like gives the most light because it's like all white. But Frequent Flyers looks really good. I've never read anything by this author. I think that this is a new author, but it says Lainey Turner has some loose ends, a nearly complete PhD, a job she basically enjoys, and a lifelong crush that she's almost gotten over. And it like goes into her life. I don't really even know what it's about, but I just wanted to buy it because it just looked good. There's like text messages in it, which I freaking eat up. Like, look at that, guys. There's text in here. Love this. And it's just like a romance, a cutesy little romance. It says Lane's used to getting hurt and Ridley finds opening up difficult. How will a long distance relationship even work once Lainey's back in New York City permanently? It's easy enough to shrug off another loose end. After all, life's problems seem tiny from 35,000 feet in the air. I skipped 2 paragraphs, so now I kind of want to go back and see what the heck, like, why are they in the air? But it says after a steamy layover in Iceland, the pair take a direct flight from steammates to lovers. Ridley even agrees to be her +1 in a wedding, so they meet on a plane. This looks so interesting. Like, I am really excited to read this one. I also always like to kind of look at the front, see what people have said about the book. The first sentence says, every summer since she was 10, Lainey Turner ran away from home. I'm locked in. Like, books like this that start off with a bang make me want to read them immediately. I also picked up Liberty. This is a historical fiction, and one of you guys actually recommended this on TikTok. I again don't know what this is about, but it says it's inspired by the life of one of the first Black female doctors in the United States. And it's an immersive and unforgettable novel that will resonate with readers eager to understand our present through a deep, moving, and lyrical dive into our past. Wow, this just looks like a beautiful story. It says coming of age in a free Black community in Reconstruction era Brooklyn. Liberty Sampson is all too aware that her mother, a physician, has a vision for their future together. Liberty is to go to medical school and practice alongside her, but Liberty is hungry for something else. Is there really only one way to be independent? That looks really good. That's all I need to know. I'm locked in. I will also say that these books came so fast. Like, I honestly think that these books came faster than Amazon. Like, I've ordered books on Amazon before because I like to order books by like small indie authors or just like smaller Black authors on Amazon because a lot of the time they're not in indie bookstores. Like, they're hard to find. So it's a great way to support small authors. But Amazon's been taking their time lately. So I love also shopping independent bookstores as well because they have great books, and you guys recommended Liberty and I was like, oh, this bookstore they have like pages and pages, like hundreds of books to choose from, and if you just go and search through the books, I feel like you'll find some that you haven't seen before. Like, I haven't seen this book anywhere. I'd heard someone talk about it, so I kind of like knew what the cover looked like, but I went on there and I literally ordered these books like this week. No, not this week, end of last week. So it's only been like a few days because it is Wednesday today. I'm pretty sure I ordered this Friday, I think. So it's been like Friday, it was like late Friday, I think. So it's only been a few days. And honestly, anytime that I can support a independent bookstore is great, but when they're like shipping out books like that, oh heck yeah, I'm definitely gonna support you and buy books from there, because like that I think is a lot of the hang up of like why I like shopping with bookstores that like send books faster because like I want to read it fast, you know? Even though half the time I'll get the book and I'm like not gonna read it immediately. Like I just want to have it, you know, I want to have it. I paid for it, I want it. But it was great, like opening this package, and I literally ordered the book and I saw that it was like packaged and like delivered the next day. I was like, whoa, I just made that order. And literally it was like, your package is on its way. I was like, cool. So make sure you guys support this business. I've never been to this business before. It recently opened and I saw it all over like Instagram, like TikTok and stuff. People are saying like, go and like support. Very, very small bookstore. It's just like a girl like our age who just like opened a bookstore and like wanted to share books by Black authors. And it's like a very, you know, hard thing to get into, like owning your own business. So I definitely want to support. Next time I go to Chicago, I'll definitely go there. When I was there last, you guys, some of you guys DM'd me on Instagram. You're like, oh my God, you have to stop by there. And I was actually on the other side of the city whenever I was there, because I was there for like Brady's like work thing. So I didn't end up making it to that side of the city. But yeah, anyway, I got 2 great books, nice little book haul. Also have lots of books that I'm excited to read whenever they hit the shelves. Haven't really read much in the book that I'm actually reading right now. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. But I had to open this package with you guys because I knew you guys would want to see. Came in to American Eagle to see what fits, what doesn't, because I'm trying to find new jeans, and this pair is definitely a little long. Like you can see, it's like so baggy, and it's just like not what I'm looking for, but it is the pair of jeans that I want, like the style. It's called Dreamy Drape from American Eagle. So I'm gonna see if I can find another pair and like it'll hopefully fit better. I think that these are the winners because they are the Dreamy Drape style, so they're super baggy, but they are not gonna be like too baggy, and they're not gonna be too short. I am gonna look online to see if they have a different wash, because this one's like a little bit lighter than what I would normally go for. I think I want something like maybe a tad darker, and maybe that doesn't have fraying at the bottom, but I love this style. I literally am obsessed with the style. It was a pair of jeans I was wearing when I came in here, so I want to get something super similar. One of my criteria for getting jeans like coming in today was to not get jeans with holes in them. How did I end up here? It just, I gravitate towards the holes. I feel like my frontal lobe is just developing, which is why I'm like wanting to have like different style, but something about the holes in jeans just pulls me in. It just does something to an outfit. Like it's so cute. I don't know if I'm gonna get these or not, but I love how baggy they are. Like they're literally the perfect level of bagginess, and they're just really cute. Literally already read this book, but I'm buying it because I want to read the additional pages in the back. I think there's a total of like 77 bonus pages or something, which is actually a lot. I also read this book I think it was like a year ago, I think really, really loved it. 4 stars. There was so much depth in this story. And now there's out a new cover. I feel like I need to get it. It's like shiny and pretty. And I don't know if I'll keep the other one because I just don't really want to keep 2 if I'm not going to actually read it. But I feel like I could easily give it to like a free library and then read this one, like the additional pages, and keep this one. For sure gonna put this one in my basket. I already have 2 books in here, believe it or not. I'm kind of sad that I bought this book already because I wanted it in the orange cover and not in the purple cover, but where I was buying it they only had the purple cover, so I bought it. And now I'm kind of like, dang, like the orange cover, honestly, I like a lot better. I think I just like it better for this season. Like purple gives summer to me and orange gives like fall and winter for some reason. I've heard from so many people that this book is good. Have I read it? No. Do I own it? Yes. I need to read it before I like lose the hype in wanting to read this, but I've heard from 1,000,001 people that it's really, really good. I'm back home and I want to give you guys a little book update and then give you this little haul from what I got from Bath & Body Works. I'll give you guys the haul first. I did end up getting some books, so I'm going to show you guys those tomorrow because Brady's almost home and I want to be able to sit down and eat dinner and stuff with him. But I got lots of stuff from Bath & Body. Bath & Body gives me so much nostalgia. Like whenever I'm in that store, it literally takes me right back to high school. Like I'm a high school girl again when I'm in that store. I ended up not buying any jeans in store, but I ordered a pair from the store because like I tried on a bunch of different pairs and I wanted a pair that had like this type of wash, like where it would be kind of baggy and stuff. I just didn't want holes in the front. And so I found a pair that I really liked and I went online and they had an online only pair that had a different wash. So I really liked how it fit, so I ended up ordering that. I hope it works out well. The lady said that it should be here soon and you get free shipping if you order in store to your house. There's also a 30% off discount online and she's like, oh, I don't know if it's like gonna cross over because I don't know if it's like an online only discount. And then she was like, oh, it's fine. Like I think you can get the discount. So I ended up getting the discount and I got the free shipping, which is what you get if you order in store to your house. So I got that. And then I also got this fresh balsam candle. This literally smells like a Christmas tree. Oh, I love the smells at Bath & Body Works. I will say their candles are like iconic because they're very strong, but they're not like super cheap or anything. There wasn't a sale, so I ended up paying like $95, I think, for all of these. But they smell so good. This one is lavender and pine. Oh, and it literally smells like a mix between a Christmas tree and lavender. And I think lavender is actually my favorite type of candle. If I had to like pick one, just because it's so calming. And then I got Christmas Cabin, and this one, oh, this one smells so good. This is like, it smells like a woody tree and it's just literally giving all of the Christmas vibes. So I got that, and then I also picked up this fresh balsam hand soap because we're running out of our kitchen hand soap and I wanted some to put in the kitchen. So those are all the candles that I picked up and the hand soap. I'll give you guys the book haul tomorrow. I ended up getting a few books. For the review of this book so far, it is really cute. It's giving Hallmark vibes, but it's like funny. I really want to know why. Okay, so I'm gonna read what's on the back first so you can kind of know what this is about. It says Megan's dreading going home for the holidays. Pretty much everyone in the town hates her because she left the local golden boy Isaac at the altar 4 years ago and ran away to the big city. So she doesn't do the drama. She's like, I'm like over this. And I feel like coming home for the holidays, especially if you like live in a smaller town, it can be very daunting just because you know that people are gonna like talk and stuff. And yeah, so Christian, he's like tired of being on his own every Christmas. So they bump into each other and they decide that they're gonna be the very best fake dates for each other ever. I really try not to spoil like books, so I try to read the backs, but I know some of you guys don't like when I read the backs of books and you like me to explain the story, but I just never know exactly what's on the back and what is like something that I like remember from the actual story that I read that's not on the back. So I feel like reading the back is like very safe. So yeah, it's fake dating, and she left a guy at the altar. The guy lives in the small town, so she's going back. So this whole book, I'm like, okay, this girl seems super nice. I'm on chapter, like the beginning of chapter 20 right now. So I'm 205 pages in. And the whole book, it's like, I feel like she's a nice person. Like, I feel like she would not be the type to leave someone at the altar. So I'm like, what did this man do? Because one thing I will always support is women, like their rights and wrongs. Like, what did you have to endure from this man? Because if you seem like a nice character, I just know that this man has to be unhinged, or something had to have happened for me to like, for you to like leave him. So I haven't gotten to that point yet, but there have been many points where she's like come in contact with people in the town and they're like, oh, I can't believe you're back. Like, just, it's like a whole thing, and you can really feel the shame that she has in this story. So if you're like maybe going back to your hometown this year and you are starting to like get a little nervous because you have, maybe you haven't had like a scandal, but like maybe you live in a smaller town or just a town where everyone just kind of runs their mouth and you're feeling like a little nervous, this could be a good book to read, because you see her kind of go into her shell and like, she's like, oh, I shouldn't have come. Like, I should like go back to the city. And then the guy she's fake dating, he's like, no, like you're gonna stand up. You're gonna like walk into this bar. You're gonna walk into this business. You're gonna like talk and like be confident. And so you see her kind of build her confidence, but I still don't know why she left this guy at the altar. And I just know that it's gonna be something good. I just don't know what. And I mean, he's everybody's golden boy, but to me, it's like, no one knows why she left him at the altar. So I feel like she's the better person, because she like hasn't told anyone why. And I feel like there has to be a reason. Otherwise, like, why wouldn't you tell people? You know what I mean? She just seems like a nice person. So I'm excited to like get deeper into why she left him at the altar, but also it's really enjoyable so far. I feel like this is a true fake dating story, because a lot of the time they fake date, it's like, oh, I'm fake dating you, oh my gosh, I'm so in love with you now. Like, it's just instant, and that's like so unrealistic, which is like, okay, we do read romances because we love like unrealistic storylines. But this feels very realistic, because like there's one point where she like sits on his lap and she's like uncomfortable and like not being cute about it or like hot or anything, and she like accidentally like kind of elbows him a little bit, and he's like, oh, like, and it's just like awkward, and like just everything is like very awkward and like not like romantic. And I feel like a lot of the time in books with fake dating, it's very like romantic, like they have a kiss and it's like perfect and they're in love, and like, and it's just like not like that, which I'm really enjoying, because it's mixing well with like the Hallmarky small town vibes, but it feels very realistic. So enjoy it so far. I think that if I had to choose between this one or the other one that I read by this author, I would choose this book. It just feels very realistic and enjoyable. I will say, you know how I am with Christmas books, like we're 200 pages in and I'm like, this is a real book. Like, Christmas books, I just feel like they shouldn't be that long. And I don't even really like novellas, but I kind of feel like Christmas books should wrap up at like 250 pages. Like, and this book is like 336. So we'll see if I end up getting bored by the 250 page mark. I don't know when she's gonna end up saying why she like decided not to be with this guy anymore. Like, I feel like that's something that's really kept me interested. But maybe like whenever she says she likes this guy, they'll like up the ante with the romance, because it's kind of been like, there hasn't been a ton of romance. Like, there was a point in the book where the guy, he's like, we're fake dating so well, I'm even starting to believe it myself. So like, even as you're reading about the characters, they don't feel like they're falling. Like, they don't feel like they even have feelings for each other, which as a reader, you're like, I can tell you do. Like, it's like, I know something you don't know. So it's really cute so far. Feels very realistic and believable, and it's funny. So yeah, this is definitely a good Christmas read. I feel like I'll definitely finish this one tonight. I finished this book. It was so cute. I definitely think it was a little long for a Christmas book. Like, I just don't feel like Christmas books should be this long. And it wasn't even like long for like a book, but it was long for a Christmas book, if that makes sense. It was so, so cute though. Whenever I found out why she left him at the altar, I'm like, girl, I totally understand. Like, Oh, the audacity that these men have. Like, that's one thing that men will always have, is the freaking audacity. I really loved how this incorporated family in this too. Like, I would love to see more books of like other characters that are in this book, because you kind of fall in love with them too. I think the next book I'm going to start is Christmas in Spite of You by Casey Mills. I've never read anything by Casey Mills, but I think that this book is supposed to be somewhat spicy, which this one was spicy too, but not like, I mean, it was definitely spicy, but it was like more towards the end of the book, which those are the types of books that I think I'm learning that I like best. Like, I don't really mind if a book is like super spicy, as long as I get like a lot of their relationship first. Like, I need to know that you guys even care about each other before you guys start hooking up, you know? So I'm really excited for this one. This is about a girl who puts her house like up to be like an Airbnb or whatever while she plans on going home for the holidays. And then I think she ends up having to not go home. Like, something happens. I don't know if her flight gets canceled or whatever. Something happens where she has to stay. And like, that's where she lives. And she's kind of like down bad. Like, she's struggling financially. So she doesn't have like anywhere else to go. And so she has to like cohabitate with this guy that she's like never met before. So I'm interested to see that, because I love a good forced proximity trope. I am going to try to finish this probably by tomorrow, just because it's only 250 pages, which personally is the perfect length for a Christmas book. Like, I think that Christmas books should be this length. Like, they shouldn't be that long, because like, they're usually pretty predictable, very enjoyable, but predictable. And I think that when they're 250 pages, it's like the perfect amount. Not too short, not too long. So I'm gonna start this tonight, and I'll give you guys my update tomorrow. This book is so good. I have about 50 pages left, and I can literally visualize this entire book as a movie. I don't normally rate like Christmas romances highly, just because I don't know, it's like they are what they are. And sometimes I'm like, should I rate them based on like that category, or should I just like base them off of like all the books I've read? You know what I mean? Like, whenever I read thrillers, like I've never had a 5-star thriller, and I'm always like, should thrillers have their own category? But I'm like, no, like they shouldn't, because those are still like my true opinions of the book, of like what it is. And some books I think just stay in a certain like category. Like, most Christmassy books are usually like 3 stars, 3.5. This book is good. And there's only been one other Christmas romance that I've read that I think feels as fun and as like realistic as this one, and it was The Holidates by Brittany Cherry. And this book feels super, super similar. Not in the storyline, but like in how much fun I'm having with it. And it reminds me of why I rate books the way I do, because like, yes, most Christmas books are 3.5 stars, which is not bad. It's just like, it just is what it is. It's like, they're a cute little fluffy palette cleanser, and that's like pretty much what you're gonna get. But then you find books like this that are like a diamond in the rough. Like, they feel like just a true story. Like, I would recommend this book outside of a Christmas read. Like, I would recommend this to someone, even if they weren't wanting to read something like Christmassy and they just wanted a good romance. I would recommend this book. It is very, very, very good. I don't want to spoil anything, because I feel like I've shared kind of like what it's about, but it literally is giving a movie, but like a realistic movie. And I don't know, you can see the characters falling for each other. It definitely gives kind of like insta love in some like aspects, but I will say the insta love feels realistic. And I know a lot of people, like some people love insta love and some people don't. I don't mind it if it feels like it's real. And I feel like it would be realistic to start like having really strong feelings for someone if you're literally living together for a week, you know? I only have like, again, 50 pages left, so I'm pretty close to being done, but I already know what I'm gonna rate this because it's just so good. It's time for a book haul and it's time for a wrap up. We're gonna start with the wrap up first because I feel like this will be a little bit quicker. I feel like I've already shared my thoughts for Snowed In about how much I liked it and it was really cute. I definitely would recommend this one. I think I'm gonna rate this one 3.5 stars. Again, I do think it was like a tad long, but it was very, very cute and funny, and I think most people would enjoy it, and the story felt very realistic. Like, it was one that was funny, but like not too Hallmarky, so I think that most people will enjoy this. Again, it is a little long, so keep that in mind. This book, loved it down. It actually reminded me a lot of my parents because my dad, he was someone who actually grew up and didn't have like a lot of Christmas traditions. His family didn't do gifts or anything, and he just kind of grew up that way. And then he met my mom, which actually he met my mom when they were like 7 or 10 or something. Like they were just like friends for their life, like most of their life. And then they obviously ended up getting married like later on in life, but they didn't date in like high school or anything. It's truly like a friends to lovers story where they were just like friends for such a large span of their life. Like my mom talks often about how they used to play like ball together and stuff, but they didn't have like a lot of Christmas traditions. And my mom, her side always had tons of like Christmas traditions, like so many like great traditions, or at least I think that she did. If she didn't, she created it, because growing up, we had so many Christmas traditions and so many Christmas gifts. Like Christmas has always been a really big holiday in our family, and this story reminded me of that because the main character in this book, he's kind of like a grump when it comes to Christmas. And I think that usually that would kind of like annoy me. It's like, okay, like you don't like Christmas, like whatever. Like, you know, it's just like, okay, that's a little overplayed, overdone. But this made sense because you find out that his family has like done some stuff that makes him feel like Christmas is more of an obligation than just like an enjoyable thing. And you really see it played out in this story so well. It's very believable. And then the like main female character, she's just so bubbly and loves Christmas so much. And like, there's just so many like cute little moments in this story that I absolutely wanted to eat up. Like there's a part of this story where he ends up like doing something really sweet for her, but he doesn't, like he does it for her, but it's not like in the way that someone who loves Christmas would want it to be done. I'll say that. And she was like, thanks so much, but like, can we not? Like it was just, it felt like a movie from start to finish. I definitely want to rate this one 4 stars. Very, very cute. One of my favorite Christmas reads that I've read so far, between this and The Holidays by Brittany Cherry. Those are probably my top 2 favorite Christmas reads that I've enjoyed. Well, I really did like One Day in December by Josie Silver. I think that that book is one that's like deeper themes, and it's set around Christmas, but it's also told over a 10-year span, so you get like a full story. So it's not giving Hallmark vibes or like rom-com vibes. It's more of like a deeper story. It is a contemporary fiction story, so that's probably why, but that's another one that I like really, really adore. I think I also rated that one 4 stars as well. But love both of these books. Definitely worth the buy, and definitely worth the read if you haven't picked them up. I also think that this was the perfect length, like less than 300 pages, but not like 100 or 150 pages. Like it was just the perfect length. So much dialogue in it, really fun and funny, and it definitely had spice in it too. So if you are a spicy reader, you're definitely gonna get that in the story. It just was really good. I've never read anything from Casey Mills, but it's made me want to read more books by this author. For the book haul, I picked up 3 books when I was at the bookstore. I actually already showed you guys one of them when I was in the store, so you kind of already probably know what that one is, which it is Real by Kennedy Ryan. I cannot wait to read the bonus epilogue in this. I think that there's an additional 77 pages, I'm pretty sure. There's also a book club discussion guide at the back. There's also a playlist that you can like use this QR code for. There's just so many added bonuses in this. There's also an author interview where they ask questions about the story, and it just adds so much more to the story and makes it come alive. There's an apple cobbler recipe. Like, I cannot wait to read through the bonus epilogue. And again, this is a long story. I think it's like 400 and something pages, and the words are not super big, like they're pretty small. But I will say it's one that goes by really quickly. Like, I'm not someone who typically is like obsessed with reading long books, and I remember reading this super, super quick. And I feel like I'm gonna do that whenever I read the bonus epilogue. The bonus epilogue, like an extra, maybe it's not 77 pages. This is the bonus epilogue right here. Let's see, okay, it might actually be 77 pages because this is a long epilogue. Like, so from 442 all the way to, we're going 460. So it's not 77 pages, but it still is a good amount to add to the story if you have already read it. Definitely pick it up. It's an incredible story. I also love this cover. It is beautiful. So I had to get a romance. You guys know I'm a romance girly at heart always. I also picked up The Sweetness of Water. This is a historical fiction that I'm really excited to read. Well, let me tell you guys what this is about before I like hop to the next story. So this one is about a woman who is, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm going to read the back. She goes from backstage Broadway to center stage Hollywood. She goes from being unknown to having her name on everyone's lips when Cannon, who's like a well-known producer, casts her in this Harlem Renaissance story. And obviously, the main character guy is a producer, and she's the one who's in his show. So like, it's definitely forbidden romance because obviously you're not supposed to like hook up with the producer. It says, but forbidden attraction, scandal, and circumstances beyond Neva's control soon put her dream in jeopardy. Could this one shot, the role of a lifetime, the love of a lifetime, cost her everything? So I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't wanna spoil anything else. But it's a very, very good story. I remember reading it and rating it 4 stars and loving the depth within it. Also, I found this out like just randomly that my cousin is actually on the audiobook, and she's like the singer on it. She like went to Juilliard and has an incredible voice. I didn't even know that. And then I was like looking through like some of the projects that she's been a part of, and I was like, you were in Real? Like, okay, like what? So yeah, if you listen to Real, you'll like hear my cousin on the audiobook. Isn't that wild? I have a lot of family members because my mom has 13 siblings and my dad has 6 siblings, and both of them, like both sides, like my dad's side and my mom's side, they both have the same parents, all grew up in the same household. So like my mom grew up in a household with like, she was the 14th, not 14th child, but like 14 kids under one household with the same parents, like just growing up, going to school together, like, and same with my dad. Like, but my dad has had 6 brothers, so there were 7 boys. So my poor grandma and grandpa, but like my poor grandma, she wanted a girl so bad, but they always tell the story of how she kept trying because she wanted a girl so bad, and finally at 7 my grandpa was like, yeah, we're done, we're not doing more like to try to have a girl, like. And yeah, so anyway, they just both grew up in really big families, and so most of those people in those families who are used to growing up with lots of like noise and boisterous like activity and stuff, like also wanted to have the same vibe in their family. So most of them also had like 7, 8, 10 kids. Like, so I have so many cousins, and it's really cool because they all, again, grew up in the same household. Like, so like I have 5 siblings, there's 6 of us, and people are like, oh my God, you have such a big family. I'm like, no, you should meet my cousins. There's like 9, like my Aunt Bonnie has like 9 kids. My Uncle Nezzy, he has 8 kids. Like, it's like everybody just has like lots of children, which I think is so cool. So yeah, I picked up The Sweetness of Water. This was in Oprah Winfrey's book club. This is told in the days of the Civil War in Georgia. It's about two brothers, and they were freed by the Emancipation Proclamation. This is also by a Black author as well. They seek refuge on the homestead of George Walker and his wife Isabel. The Walkers, racked by the loss of their only son to the war, hire the brothers to work their farm, hoping through an unexpected friendship to staunch their grief, while the two boys aim to save money for the journey north and a chance to reunite with their mother, who was sold away when they were boys. Parallel to their story runs a forbidden romance between two Confederate soldiers recently returned from the war to the town of Old Ox. When the young men's secret is discovered, the resulting chaos, including a murder, unleashes convulsive repercussions on the entire community, with Isabel emerging in the tumultuous aftermath as an unlikely leader. As gripping as it is moving, The Sweetness of Water unforgettably depicts the Deep South in the violent crucible of Reconstruction. So this just like pulled me in immediately when I heard the story, but someone actually recommended it on Instagram. I always share like book videos there, and someone was like, oh my god, you have to read this. So that's why I decided to pick it up, because of one of you guys, and it's a very unique storyline, which I enjoy. And then I also picked up Post Traumatic because one of you guys said that this would be a book that you think that I would like. This was also selected as one of the books of the year by Harper's Bazaar and one of the best books of the month by Oprah Daily. And it says, to the outside observer, Vivian is a success story, a dedicated lawyer who advocates for mentally ill patients at a New York City psychiatric hospital. Privately, she contends with the memories and after effects of her bad childhood, living in a constant state of hypervigilant awareness that makes even a simple subway ride a heart-pounding drama. For years, Vivian has self-medicated with a mix of dating, dieting, dark humor, and smoking weed with her BFF, Jane. But after a family reunion prompts her to take a bold step, Vivian finds herself alone in new and terrifying ways without even Jane to confide in. And she starts to unravel. Will she find a way to repair what matters most to her? Post Traumatic is the debut of a stunning talent featuring a complex heroine who is blazingly, undeniably alive. With razor-sharp prose and mordant wit, Chantal V. Johnson performs an extraordinary feat, delivering a psychologically astute story about the aftermath of trauma that somehow manages to brim with warmth, laughter, and hope. And this is, again, by a Black author as well. So yeah, lots of great books. Really excited to read these. I feel like my book taste has definitely changed so much, and I'm adding in so many new things, which is like just so cool, because like my bookshelf is just now a wide range of like book genres, book types, and anytime I'm in the mood for anything, I have it on deck, which is nice. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am really excited for videos that are to come next week, but even more excited for the videos that are going to come after that on the first week of December. You guys will get tons of Vlogmas videos. There'll be one every single day, and I just think it'll be a really fun 12 days. You'll get 12 days in a row, and yeah, so I hope you guys are excited too. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!